Hi, good day. My name is Silver Cinco, a member of Group 2, and we're going to be talking about the Sampoong department store collapse, a case study in civil engineering laws, engineering ethics, and public safety. So first up is the introduction. The Sampoong superstore collapse in Seoul, South Korea stands as one of the deadliest structural failures in modern history. Occurring in June 29, 1995, the tragedy claimed 498 lives and exposed deep-rooted corruption and negligence within the construction industry. What began as a symbol of a rapid economic growth and modern development turned into a devastating reminder of the consequences of greed, poor construction practices, and ignored safety warnings. So, a summary. What happened? Sudden collapse of Sampoong Superstore. Who? Sampoong executives, contractors, and bribed officials. When? It was around June 29th, 1995 at 6 p.m. Where? Seoul, South Korea. Why? Corruption, poor construction, and ignored safety warnings. And how? Building modifications and design changes weakened the structure until it gave out.
This slide highlights how the Sampoong department store collapse was not simply a structural failure, but a profound violation of multiple professional engineering ethics canons. First, Canon 1. Canon 1 was gravely violated. Engineers and company executives ignored clear warning signs of structural failure, including visible cracks and reports of instability. Instead of evacuating the building, senior executives chose to flee quietly, leaving employees and customers inside. This decision directly disregarded public safety and ultimately resulted in the loss of 498 lives. Canon 2 was violated when unqualified individuals approved major design changes. These included converting the top floor into a restaurant and adding heavy loads without proper structural analysis. These decisions were made without appropriate engineering expertise, undermining the building's structural integrity. Canon 3 was violated when management falsely claimed the building was safe. Despite warnings from engineers and visible damage, employees and customers were misled into believing there was no danger. This lack of honesty prevented timely evacuation and increased the loss of life. Canon 4 was also violated as executives prioritized financial interest over human life. Closing the store would have meant lost revenue, so operations continued despite known risks. This represents a clear conflict of interest and a failure of professional responsibility. The number 5, which is the build reputation and merit, avoid unfair competition. It was violated through corruption and bribery. The final report revealed that local officials accepted bribes to approve illegal design changes and issue provisional use permits. These actions undermined fair competition and compromised public trust in regulatory systems. Canon 6 was also violated through widespread dishonesty, negligence, and corruption. The unethical behavior of both engineers and officials damaged the credibility of the civil engineering profession and eroded public confidence. Lastly, Canon 7 was violated when outdated engineering knowledge and safety standards were ignored. The failure to apply modern engineering practices reflects a lack of commitment to continuous professional improvement and responsibility. In conclusion, the Sampoong collapse was not primarily a technical failure, but a systemic ethical failure. As confirmed by the final White Book, fraud, corruption, and disregard for ethical obligations were the true causes of this tragedy.
So these are the preventive guidelines on how the Sampoong collapse could have been avoided. First, follow approved structural designs and building codes. The building was originally designed for different purpose, yet major changes were made, including additional floors and increased loads. These changes violated building codes. Under CE laws, all structure must strictly follow approved plans and national building standards to ensure safety. Second, use qualified engineers for design and supervision. Unqualified individuals influence structural decisions, and licensed engineers were ignored. Civil engineering laws requires that only licensed and competent engineers design, review, and supervise construction to ensure structural integrity. 3. Conduct regular safety inspections. Structural cracks and warning signs were already visible before the collapse, but no proper action was taken. Regular inspections are mandated under building regulations to detect early signs of failure and prevent disasters. 4th, respond immediately to cracks or warning signs. Despite visible damage, the building was remained open to the public. Engineering ethics and safety laws requires immediate evacuation and closure when a structure shows sign of danger. Last, avoid corruption and prioritize public safety. Management ignored safety concerns to avoid financial losses, and inspections were compromised. Under CE laws and professional ethics, public safety must always come first, and corruption in constructions and inspections must never be tolerated. So again, these canons are essential and must be upheld at all times. First, public safety must be the top priority. Second, only competent and licensed engineers should decide. Third, report must be honest and transparent. Fourth, public welfare must come before employers' interest. Last, corruption and deception must be avoided. The Sampoong department store collapse was not an accident, but as a result of negligence, violations of engineering laws, and unethical decision-making. If these preventive guidelines shown in the slide had been properly followed, the tragedy could have been avoided and many lives could have been saved.